Welcome back, everyone, to another day out here. It's getting a little late to work outdoors, and I'm waiting on some vital information to really get rocking and rolling inside. I need to know the location of the fridge, the stove, all that, and I need to make sure Zan is going to be happy with it before I start running all the utilities and everything. So while I'm waiting on some of that, there are a few things I could do inside. But it's nice to go straight through on things and get it done all at once rather than doing everything piecework back and forth. So I'm going to give her a little bit more time. I have some sorting left to do here in the garage. So for those of you who are new to the channel, we bought a hoarder's house and we're trying to restore it back to being a family home. So this might be a good opportunity for you to see some of the stuff we ran into along the way. And for those of you who have been here along the way, it'll be a nice little refresher and nice moment to look back and reflect. So with that, let's get to it. So some of this is my stuff. It's been a bit of a dumping ground, and because I don't really have horizontal surfaces to work with, it's kind of just gone wherever. Some things like this compressor, I'm going to plug this in and see if it runs. That would be pretty cool. I found that out by the shed. So there's a number of things that I kind of found around, and we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll have to make a decision accordingly. But if it does, yeah, we'll try to sell it or do something. Here, this is pretty cool. So this is a compound bow that he had rigged up. So he tore off the little handle there that holds the sights. And he had this rigged up on some kind of a drawstring, a makeshift crossbow. And it looked like it was set up as a booby trap. I guess probably connected to a tripwire, who knows, but it wasn't set, and we did find it in time to make sure there weren't any accidents. So unfortunately it's probably garbage just because he did chop it up. But that was definitely one of the more interesting finds. So I got a lot of boxes to go through. I might make it through some of those. But this shelf back here, I have yet to touch that. I have no idea what's in there. It's probably mostly hardware, but who knows. And this, right next to the stairs, I pass it every day. I can kind of see what's in it as I pass by. I guess I haven't been curious enough to really look. But I'm going to go through this because I want to get rid of this cabinet altogether. It's just in my way and it's taking up valuable space. So maybe I'll start there. He does have some good taste in here. Let's set that aside. So I wanted to show you this real quick. So down here, this is mouse poison. And I see little mouse has chewed through the packaging. And over here, you'll see the skeleton of the mouse. Another Geiger counter. So there wasn't too much in here. Let's have a look. So what I found is some useful chemicals. This is actually interesting. This is gold leaf. So it's probably got real gold in it. Usually has a low amount of gold pigment. Rust neutralizer. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I got oiling cans. Now some of these cassettes are cool. And what I did find cool also, these are still new in package. So those are probably valuable to somebody. I know it's extremely dated, but some people collect those sort of things, and it's very difficult to find things like that new in package now, so they do have value to someone. And out of these cassettes, I wonder where it is. There's one in, that was this one. So some of these writable cassettes, I kind of want to play them because I'm wondering if we'll be able to catch his voice on one of them, if he was speaking into it. Because, you know, I did find a number of cassette recorders, and I did find one in particular. Where are you? So I found three of these portable Geiger counters, but I found this, and it looks like it probably still works. And you can let me know in the description below if you remember these little mini cassette recorders. And yeah, for those of you who don't remember these, this is pretty much specifically for taking recordings. So I'm pretty sure this is likely operational. I'll have to try and see. I haven't found any of these mini cassettes yet, so it'd be interesting if I did, because then it would definitely be recordings. That's a strange thing to collect. There's a blast from the past. My goodness. Got some fancy acetone. full of floppy disks. I don't even know how I'd go about reading these. Oh, flashlight's going. Better fix that. So, this part's going to be a little bit painful, for me anyway. For you, you're probably just going to plow through it on the screen. So, I'm going to do my best to go through this as quickly as possible. There's a lot of paperwork to go through. I'm going to very quickly try to sort through what's irrelevant and what's relevant. And what I've determined is relevant is anything related to the property and anything related to the history or relevance of the previous homeowner. So when I see bills or, you know, things that just seem extremely mundane, I'm going to be chucking those right away. If I see anything written in Chinese, I might save that just because it's probably something written in his own hand, and we kind of we're curious about the man, so we're going to set that aside. So hopefully we have a short stack of papers to keep, and a large amount of the paper should just be going to the garbage. Most of it is irrelevant from what I've seen, but he's got binders and totes full of papers. So past that, I'm going to start sorting things as far as what we're going to give away, what we're going to keep, and what I'm going to let Xana go through. I kind of have to start this process. She tried the other day, but it was a little bit difficult for her because most of it is, I mean, it was a single man living here. A lot of it is, you know, hand tools and things like that. So a lot of it isn't anything she really deals with on a regular basis. So she kind of preferred I go through it initially, and then anything left, you know, she's going to sort through and see if it's worth selling and whether or not it's worth keeping. So I'm just doing the preliminary work. So let's see how this goes. I have no idea what I'm in for. So, just opening this up right away, I'm actually going to be burning some of the stuff because quite a bit of it seems to have sensitive information about the previous homeowner right off the bat. It's not anything worth keeping, but it seems to contain banking information and things like that. So I'm going to set it aside and we're going to burn that. That way nothing may happen. I'm sure those accounts are long gone, but You never know, and that stuff doesn't really belong in the garbage. So. So I'm not going to show too many details for obvious reasons. We want to protect the identity of the previous homeowner. He is still alive. But so far I found family photos. I've found patent papers. He owned a number of patents. And I've also just dug up divorce papers. So it would turn out that he was previously married and divorced in 1992. It looks like he was employed in Florida up until, from what I've seen, the year 1999. I don't know when he moved to Michigan, but I saw employment papers up till then and pay stubs up till then. So far we're uncovering quite a bit of history. It's very interesting. A lot of this might seem boring, but he didn't throw away a single paper. I mean, I found blank envelopes from 1999 through 2002. He saved the opened envelopes. So we're probably going to be able to uncover a lot of this man's history. So we just press on though. So it was a pretty abrupt finish there. My camera died almost immediately after turning the camera off. So it was getting pretty late anyway, so I decided to call it a day. But we found some very interesting things going through those papers. Quite a bit of history about the previous homeowner. He originally moved to the United States in 1989. Coincidentally, the same year I was born. So that was pretty interesting. He was married at one point. He had no kids. And it looked like he was looking to remarry. I'm not going to go into too many details. I do have to protect his identity. But it was a good thing I didn't just throw those papers away. As I was going through, I noticed there's a lot of very sensitive information, so I'm going to burn most of those documents. He is still alive. I don't know what could happen if somebody gets a hold of those, but it's best not to risk it. You're never supposed to throw away documents with sensitive information like social security numbers and things like that. So we're going to dispose of those properly so nobody can get the information. So I'm back again today. I'm going to do a little bit of work outside. I don't have too much time, but first I wanted to show you this. This is where we seeded. And man, that packaging wasn't lying. It definitely germinated real quick. So when you look down, you can see that, you know, the grass is actually very sparse. But once I start cutting this, it's gonna fill in really quick. You know, that's just amazing. You know, here's back where I was standing, and this is a shade grass, so it's gonna do very well back here. It'll be a nice backyard, that's for sure. So what I'm going to work on right now is, I think I have the time. So I'd like to get everything ready to regrade. I'm probably going to have a skid steer in here to work on that. But what I need in the meantime is I need this concrete pad gone. And I need everything kind of ready to just level out. So I left a bit of a mess here. I'm going to be working just in this little area here for the time being. And we'll see how that goes. Let's get to it. Alright, so that pile's taken care of. Now, obviously I didn't do 100%. You know, it's really nearly impossible to make sure you got all the little bits of glass and everything out of it. So what I'm doing is I'm actually stockpiling all that contaminated dirt. I've got a few buckets already. And not too long from now, we're going to be doing the grading. And I got all this concrete to bust out. But I have to relay either concrete or a patio, and that contaminated dirt, because at this point it is a clean fill. Things like glass are clean fill, and all the large chunks of garbage are gone. So I'll be able to put that underneath as part of the base and build over top of that, and that'll just take care of the problem a little more permanently. If I try just burying it somewhere, eventually that glass is going to come back to the surface. So all I'm trying to do is relocate the contaminated dirt to where it's permanently gone. Alright, so we got pad out. Yeah, we got groundhog in here. Now, the last thing I ran into, and I don't have time to take it out right now, we got this concrete poured in along the wall, and it ends right about here. No idea what that would be for, but that's definitely, you know, something he did. It really serves no purpose on its own. It's free floating. It's about 4 inches thick. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. At any rate, That's all the time I've got for today. So just remember, you know, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It goes a long way to help us out. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Till then, thanks for joining us on this strange journey.